Good morning guys, James here from Axopar London Group down in a very sunny Swanwick Marina. Exciting news this morning, so this one has just arrived back in from overseas. She's an Axopar 28 cabin, 2018. We've just bought her in for stock as this model is hugely popular. We have sold all of the production for this year and in fact the majority of our production for next year as well. So we're hunting around Europe, see what we can find, and this is a lovely example. She's all shrink wrapped in her protective coating where she's just come back in on the lorry. So I'm just going to do a quick time lapse, taking the covers off, and then we'll get on board and have a look around. So these boats come in via road transport, craned off into the yard where they put on a cradle, as you can see. And then we start to remove the shrink wrapping here, which is basically plastic protective sheeting to keep the boat nice and clean. So what left the other end is what arrives back here with us in the UK. So there we have it. She is fully unwrapped. I haven't put the arch and bits and pieces on the top just yet, but we'll have a quick look around the outside before we go up and check her out up top. So say 2018 boat, have been dry stored, very little use. So as part of the sale process we'll anti-foul the bottom here, prep that underneath, give it a coat of paint. So she's got the anchor winch package up the front there, so there's a stainless steel anchor to go up on the bow. We've got the bow thruster in the tunnel there. Just having a look around the gel coat surfaces here, all looks pretty good. We'll give her a full going over with a polish and wax in due course. Big heavy duty grey rubbing strake there. So we've got a couple of little chips. It's fairly common around the back corners here, so we'll deal with those when we go through all the systems. On the transom here, so we've got the optional trim tab arrangement. We'll change the anodes on the tabs there. Engine's just had an oil change. Just having a look, anodes on those are pretty good, but we'll just give it a tidy up on the outside, remove the last few little barnacles that are hiding. But first impressions on the outside, just walking around, look at the rubbing strake, etc. All looks pretty good. Can't see any chips and scrapes. There's a bit of glue residue from the shrink wrapping there. Guys have done a really nice job of that. So we've got a few little chips, quite common in the front here from the anchor as it comes up. So we'll take care of those over the next few weeks. Little mark there in the gel, but pretty good for say 2018. So she's not by any stretch a brand new boat. This side on the bathing platform, this all looks pretty good. We've got a little chip there, so we'll see what we can do on that. So let's head up on board and take a look around. So prop wise, so we're running a Mercury Eco, so she's a 16 by 17 on there, 3-blade stainless, and would you believe it, first one of these I've seen, a Mercury 400R. I bet this absolutely flies. That was something that really excited us with this one. Most of them here in the UK have the 300 or the 350, so this really should get a wriggle on with the extra 50 horsepower from Mercury's racing division. And you'll notice up on the decks here, so we've got a synthetic decking pack with a sort of dark grey and black caulking. Looks to be in great shape, so we'll just have a quick look around that. Cut into a number of different sections which blend in nicely on the floor. It's got a slight grain effect through it, and you'll see it's also been put here up on the anchor locker hatch on the bows. We'll just come back down on the starboard side of the deck here. Again, this all looks pretty good. And across the aft platform here, again, all pretty good. So spec wise, what do we have? We've got the aft lockers here, as is standard on boats of this age. So we've got fender storage. See, we've got a couple of lines in there. I haven't been through the boat, literally you seeing it as I am for the first time. So we bought this purely off the basis of photos and some video. So we've got the fuel tank filler up here, 280 litre underdeck tank. We've got a Rockford Fosgate system with the Stereo, so we've got speakers at the back here. Over on the port side there you can see there's a subwoofer, and we'll check out the rest of the spec inside in due course. Just flicking over the outside gel coat here, all looks to be in good shape. We've got obviously stainless steel rails running around the top. These were optional, the side rails on the boat at this age. So you can't really see any bumps and scrapes in the gel coat surfaces themselves. Stainless steel's got a really nice lustre to it, obviously hasn't been fully prepped yet. So over here on the aft quarter we've got the optional deck shower arrangement. There's a 45 litre freshwater tank hiding under the deck up forward. We've got a manual bilge pump here, a couple of fenders, fender socks in there. That's a stainless steel ensign staff, goes in the socket here, handle for the bilge pump. And then she is obviously the aft cabin package here, so you can see poppers on the top, so the cushions hopefully are stowed away down in the aft cabin. And up top we've got the optional rocket launchers for fishing rods. There's the centre pedestal which sits in here, and on the top of that we've got a remote control ET type spotlight, and there's a radar to go on the plinth here as well. So that's all stowed away in the cabins at the moment. We've got the VHF aerial there, which is a black one, currently folded forward there on the arch. And then the canopy itself, so we've got, this is the storage cover on top of the opening section in the middle. You can see that's finished in a grey canvas. Looks pretty serviceable from what I can see from here. We'll obviously take this off and have it laundered as part of the sail prep. If we come up forward under the floor here, so we've got the bow thruster control up forward there. That's the toilet waste tank tucked away under the bow there. And then the forward locker here, so we have Shorepower lead which plugs in, you can see there, into the deck socket. We've got the optional battery charger arrangement. It's hardly used in here, absolutely fantastic. That's your isolator for the main electrical system, and also the isolator for the bow thruster with its own fuse. We will go through all of the canopies to check what's what, but this is the bow cover that goes over the forward section here, and hiding away in here I can feel the tabletop, which is hiding in the canvas. We've got some legs in there for the table, and then we've got some more fenders, more lines, and some window covers by the looks of it. These are the optional harbour covers. Notice as we go round the side windows here, we've got some fittings on here, so these are again a factory option, and we'll just check that all of those are included on the boat in due course. Up here in the bows, it's a lovely, look at all that stainless steel chain, fantastic. So we'll just tuck the camera down in there. You can see we've got stainless steel anchor, remote control winch system here. We'll stow that back up on the foredeck in due course. You can see the little fittings for the bow poppers here, and these are all the clips for the cushions, which we'll check out once we've got the boat open. Then we have a look in the heads compartment itself. As part of that freshwater system, we've got the sink here over on the starboard side of the boat. We've got an electric loo, so this is the flush panel here for the loo. Breaker panel down there, as is standard with all of the 28s. So there's a nice little storage area here, coat hooks and what have you to hang wet weather gear, life jackets and what have you. This is an access panel, it's screwed in, but this is access for that black water tank that we saw earlier. We've got access through under here for seacocks, what have you. Mirror looks good, the wood looks good, can't see any evidence of water leaks in here. Nice big heavy duty rubber seal on the door here, as with all of these, shut with a nice thump there. We've got a little magnetic catch on the bottom here, holds that shut. So if we come on aft, just have a quick look around the engine itself, just check what sort of condition that's in. So obviously a black finish. We've got these, as with all the 400s, carbon fibre effect detailing. Badges look good, raised Mercury Racing badges there. Just looking across the black, can't see any nasty marks. There's a little chip in the top there. Come around this side. Again, this all looks pretty good. So I'm just going to find some keys and we'll have a look inside. Okay, we're back and we have the keys. So we've got two, by the looks of it, 2-door keys. That's for the fuel filler cap, and then an engine key in there as well. That opens up easy enough. First impressions looking inside. So the wood all looks good on the floors here. Got a really nice smell in here. It's definitely been looked after, no smell of damp or must or what have you. So up top we've got the manual sliding roof, little catch in the middle, the bar rotates on a cam lock system and that slides open and closed when required. Looks like there's been an option, somebody stuck a coat hook up there. We've got a smoke detector up top there, and then in the roof panels itself here, these are finished in the Nirox, which is like an Alcantara type fabric to match in with the seats. So aft cabin, you can see we've got this bench seat arrangement that will take 3/4 adults. That's a squeeze. So we're just going to lift this one up like so. Catch up in the ceiling there. Another one under the back here. And you'll see that's now giving us access here into the aft cabin. So these are the battery switches here. You can just rotate those round, and that should mean we can turn some lights on. So interior lights, fab. Up top here, so those are all working. And if we just sit here at the helm, this one is huge nav spec, so plastic covers just to take off. This one as well. Try to do one-handed. So down here, this is autopilot control. We've got DSC radio. So we start just looking from the left to right. So Rockford Fosgate head unit for the AV. We've got Bluetooth system on here, and there'll be some speakers, I suspect. Yep, here on both sides of the cabin, as well as in that aft deck area, and even up on the foredeck there you can see a couple of speakers. So great AV system. This is a P70RS Raymarine autopilot controller. We've got a remote control spotlight, different speeds, a little joystick, bow thruster control, trim tab system here with an automatic leveling function. This is a Raymarine 53 DSC VHF, electric anchor winch control, Mercury's vessel view system over this side. Just grab the door keys. We should be able to just fire that up and we can see what the engine hours are reading. So in terms of nav kit itself, we just check we've got screens powering into life here. So this is an Axiom 7-inch on here, and this is a 9-inch Axiom Pro, which means it's got the buttons as well as touchscreen function. We'll just let them power into life. This is all latest current kit, still sold by Raymarine today. So we've got LED nav lights, deck lights, which are the low level blue lights running down the side decks there. You can see them up in the bow as well. We don't have underwater lights on the back. They could be retrofitted if you wish. Horn works. got obviously the searchlight we saw earlier. Wipers, so there's 2 windscreen wipers up the top there, as well as a window wash system with the Freshwater, and then we've got a couple of bilge pumps, panel lights, which will turn these on in the dark. So these are powered into life, so obviously we'll change the language in a sec, but we've got, you can see here, just like an iPad, very quick redraw. I've got these in my own boat. Fantastic product, works really well. So say it's got a radar system as well. Let's have a see if it's got a fish finder, and it does. So it's got a Raymarine fish finder unit in there. We'll find out what the transducer is for that in due course. Very nice spec, linked in with the autopilot. This will give engine telemetry on it as well, I suspect, under the NEMA 2000 system. So down here on Mercury's vessel view, which is the little 5-inch display, so we have a look in maintenance. So we've got 69 hours on the engine, so very little use. You see the digital throttle and shift. There's a tilt option, so you push this button here and the steering wheel itself can be tilted to get into a nice comfy position. But as with all of these, you can see, sat here at the helm, we've got loads of headroom here, massive volume space, and you've got great viz here from the panoramic glass all the way around the boat. It's a really nice spec actually. Only thing I would say possibly for use in the UK would be a retrofit of a heating system. For those using it overseas, obviously not much of an issue in the warmer climates. Note up on the dashboard here, so we've got a couple of USB plug-ins, charging phones, and there's a cigarette plug there as well. Nerox upholstery on the seats here forward for the helm and co-pilot. Again, these look pretty good, and the bolsters lift up. They've got, as you see, sliding bases here, so you can get them set up fore and aft. Gives you a nice working room on the deck here. Carpet itself is removable. There's a non-slip floor underneath that. So we've got all sorts of books and manuals here for all the systems. We'll collate all of those back into a folder. Tiny little mark on the bottom of the door there. The wood itself is all pretty good. Carpet in the aft end here, again, looks very nice. Underneath the seats themselves, a couple of little catches to pop off. Well, that's a bonus, as we didn't think it had one, but there is the cooling element here in the port hand seat. So that's a sort of double up cool box come basic refrigerator, and we've got the sink unit there. You'll see that this pin, if you just pop this up, the seat actually spins around 180 degrees, and this then can be turned into an occasional bed in here as well. There's a bracket there for a table, which again wasn't on the spec, which is a nice to have if that's buried away. So just going to cut the camera for a few secs. I'll get the cushions out and we'll check back. Okay, so I had a sort out in the aft cabin here. Just have a duck down, have a look. So we've got good sized double bed, reading lights up the top there, blinds on both sides of the cabin. These are the infill cushions that drop in with this one as well to make the occasional double bed. This is the bow infill that goes on top of the table up forward to make that into a sunbed. You can see we've got our Quantum radar, which will get plugged in due course, and you can see the main breaker panel there with all the systems on. Upholstery again looks very clean, and I've just laid the cushions out on the deck, so you can see here on the stern all looks very good. And up on the bows, just resting in place at the moment, you can see the L-shaped seating and the backrest. To say there's a cover that goes over this for storage if it's just for a few days and you don't want to take everything off. This presents very nicely as well. So there you have it, an absolutely lovely example. So I don't think this one's going to be around for very long. She's going on the market at 139,950. She is actually tax reclaimable. That would be a tax paid price. But for those that want to export, I say there is the option potentially to sell her as a zero rate here out of the UK or into a charter company, what have you. It's a great opportunity, very, very rare on the market. If you'd like to know any more, as always, it's james@axoparlondongroup.com or mobiles +44 7747 686 587. Please don't dwell on this one because it's not going to be around for very long. Look forward to hearing from you soon.